I really don't know how to describe this, but I've seen many cases for other people and for myself where there seems to be this weird connection between being quiet or to yourself and being a demon of sorts. Basically, I just want to talk about all of the conclusions that I jump to because I'm quiet, or all of the conclusions that I jump to because I have an RBF, which doesn't help. I'll admit that. I'll admit the quiet RBF combo, quiet introvert RBF combo, triple combo is not helping my case. I won't lie. I'm basically just gonna complain. This is me trying to make it seem like this is deep, but it's just me complaining. Okay, I'm gonna complain. Damn. I remember I used to get in trouble for being quiet, like talking and no one can hear you. Like I would get in trouble because adults couldn't hear me. But I remember being like, how am I in trouble for not, like, that doesn't even make sense. I just feel like if you had to pick, I'm overly loud or overly quiet, wouldn't you prefer this? Isn't this the life you want? Anyway, I was talking about how I was in middle school, and I remember the one time I was in class, and this girl, she tapped on my shoulder, and she was like, hey, okay? And I was like, yeah, why do you ask? She was like, oh, like, you just looked so depressed that I thought I should check on you. And I was like, oh. That's when I first learned that I had a RSF or an RDF, resting sad face, resting depressed face, because apparently I do. I did, at least then, because she felt the need to do a kind of wellness check on me. It is just what I look like. I'll give another demo of my resting face just so you can see what she saw in class. Would you check on me? Would you give a wellness check for me if I was like that? As time progressed, I was let know that I also have an RBF. So I have an RSF, RDF, and an RBF. We got a lot going on, a lot of letters in the alphabet going on with my face, I guess. Later, after hearing that for a while, I was like, you know what, fine. You know, it makes me look a little bit unapproachable. So I was like, you know what, I will fix this. I started creating my own resting face. It might be like, how does that make any sense? Because it's a resting face and you can't make it because it's resting? Well, you don't know me. I tried to turn my resting face into a bit of a smile, so it's a little bit like this. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a tinge of a smile. There's a difference. But then one day I was just walking and I had an epiphany. I was like, why am I actually standing here altering my resting face so that other people think that I'm nice? I just gained a level of consciousness. And now I look mad as hell every time I walk, and I don't care. I really don't. Like, I admit, I do look, like, probably not approachable. No, I wouldn't say that, because I've had people approach me before. Actually, I feel like, I don't know if I look like a tour guide when I'm walking around, but I've had, like, multiple people come to me as if I am, like, a tour guide. I had this guy ask me, he was like, I was walking, he said, hey, can I park here? I said, yeah. I don't know if this happened before or after I had this whole thing with my RBF, but I was passing by my neighbor. This is a grown man, by the way. Grown man kind of stops me as I'm walking. He's like, hey, and I'm like, hi. As I'm gonna leave, he says, you know, I always see you walking, but I never say hi or anything because of how you look or something. He said, like, because of your face. You kind of look, I don't know if he said I look mad or if I look like I'm like, or some, I don't remember, but to summarize it, he basically said, I've never stopped you because your RBF is so serious that I don't even dare talk to you, is what a grown man actually said to me. Like, is it that bad? Is it that terrifying? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if my RBF is that terrifying. I don't even remember what I said. I think I was just like, oh no, like, it's just my face. I think I literally said that. It's just my face. Am I apologizing for my face more than the average person? Oh no, I'm not depressed. Thank you for the wellness check. It's just my face. Oh, you were afraid of me? I'm sorry. It's just my face. It's what I look like. It's my DNA. We thought I was about to kill myself. No, it's actually just my face. Imagine if I was like ever enjoying a view, like I'm on like a cliffside or like bridge or some shit, and someone runs up to me and they're like, hey, no, don't do that. You have so much to live for. I'm like, huh? I thought you were gonna like jump or something. No, you just look so depressed and sad. You weren't gonna yourself just now? Oh, I'm sorry, you must have been mistaken. That's actually just my face. That one's kind of funny though. Like, I kind of wouldn't mind that one. I'm gonna go back in more to being quiet because I feel like that was more about having an RBF, but I do think that it's the combination of RBF and quietness that's the problem. Like, if you talk and people know you're nice, the RBF doesn't matter as much, but when you're quiet and you don't show any signs of your personality at all times, that's when it gets harder to realize that you're actually not a goblin and a ghoul. I'll admit, I did have, unfortunately, the quiet pushover combo from like middle school to about half of high school. Like, wow, y'all could have walked over me and did. And did hard. Footprints all over. Thank you so much. Even though I was also a pushover, I do think that something that comes with being quiet for some reason is that people just respect you less. I'm not sure where that comes from. Even if you stand up for yourself or you don't stand up for yourself, the fact that they disrespected you remains. I don't know why that is exactly. I'm gonna try and get into their head for a second. Let me think. I think it really is just the fact that they think you're quiet, which means that they get some type of dominant feeling. I guess they think like, oh, they're quiet, which means that I can, like, dominate sounds crazy. Like, they kind of just think they can do whatever because you're quiet and you're not going to say anything, and so that they can do whatever they want, and so they just get disrespectful for no reason. I concede, I took that a lot. I did, and I've developed though, you need to understand, but I was a pushover. It was bad.
Hey, yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, play in my face, please, I love it.
Like, damn, like, ugh, like, it was really bad.
Do it again, I love that.
I let people do me so dirty, it was crazy. Like, I can't even say it because it's to the point where it's embarrassing for me. Like, it's not even that you'd be like, oh, like, I'm sorry that you went through that. Like, it would get to the point where you're like, that isn't, like, that's just crazy. Like, you're crazy. I just realized the word I was looking for earlier was superior, not dominant. That's what the word I was trying to get at. I also know for some people, I see, like, if you're quiet or introverted, sometimes when you're with someone who's quieter than you, it makes you more extroverted. And I think that does happen to me as well. I'm definitely that type of introvert where if I'm with someone who's quiet, I become the extrovert. Or extrovert is a strong word. Well, no, I do. I would say I become more extroverted when I'm with someone who's more quiet or shy because they don't intimidate me as much as an extroverted person. And when I'm with an extroverted person who's like very out there, it completely depends on if I like you. Because if you're extroverted in the sense that you're just annoying, then I get even quieter because I don't want to talk to you. But if you're extroverted and not annoying and I like you, then I kind of match your energy more. I've also had it multiple times where people who I only knew from a distance or didn't know too much are in a setting where I feel more comfortable being myself, and they're like, wait, I actually didn't know that you had a personality and that you're kind of funny and you have opinions, and wow, like, I just really didn't know that you were a person. But you're so quiet. How do you have a personality? I'm like, thank you so much. And by the way, you look depressed as fuck. And also mad. No, thank you so much for that. I've actually always had a personality. I think that I have I have a lot of personality. Again, you can see it in my videos. When I'm by myself and doing my own thing, a lot is going on. A lot. Because I'm just with myself and I feel comfortable doing whatever. I don't care. I'm just like being myself with myself because there's nobody else here. When I'm alone, I'm my own extrovert. I just think it's crazy that if you don't have a very open, like, personality all the time, people think that you just don't have one at all. It's like, because I'm quiet, here's the summary: because I'm quiet. Because I'm a quiet and introverted and have an RBF/RSF/RDF. I'm mean, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I have no personality, I can be disrespected as much as you like, I'm not funny, I'm not anything interesting, grown men are afraid of me, I look like a tour guide, and it's all just because I keep my mouth shut sometimes. And the craziest part is that I'm talkative. Like, I am a talkative person. I talk so much. The proof is in the pudding. and the channel is the pudding. Cats were onto something with midday naps in the sun, and that is so true because today I love the sun beams into my room through the window, and every time it's there, I lay in the cat. I don't care. I see the sun. I'm like, oh, it's time for my break. Then I start my work whenever I lay in the sun, and it's like there's something about being in bed, laying on the blanket because the sun is like encasing you, and you just lay and then you just fall asleep all day. So when you wake up, it's like it's just so nice. I love it. Napping in the sun all the time. Like I can talk a lot, and I do talk a lot when I'm comfortable. It's just like it's very easy for me to not be. Something else I just thought of, which is we're kind of getting a little bit off topic. Not off topic, but like a different variant of the topic. Someone actively point out that you're being louder than usual or that you're talking more than usual, and then I lock back in. I'm like, and I'm never speaking again. No, I'll never smile. I'll never laugh. No, I'm going back into my cocoon. Thank you. One time I was in science class, and I was very quiet in this class. I had a very... Oh, I'm sorry. Just remember something else. Just remember something else. Does anybody else have the experience of when, I would say this is elementary school and middle school, I feel like they stopped this nonsense in high school, but elementary and middle, when they thought that putting a quiet kid, aka like a well-behaved kid, next to the loud, annoying, problem and causing boys was going to like alter their personality, because I sure do. I actually remember the day in class when I was sitting at a table group with my 3 best friends. Like, I was actually on cloud 9. We just got new seats. We were having a great time. And then my teacher goes, Sophia? I'm like, yeah? We're gonna have you switch seats with Bob. And mind you, Bob was one of the kids who, just a badass little kid. He was at a table group with all his friends who were equally as bad as him. I got sent over to a table with 3 rowdy boys. Like, I was supposed to solve that. I always would get sat next to the kids like that because they thought that I could fix them. This isn't fan fiction. Why am I put over here? Like, I'm gonna solve their problems. Like, their parents have to fix this, not me. I remember as I was walking to switch my seats, a genuine tear almost rolled down my face. And the first thing that one of those boys said to me was, why do your front teeth not show when you talk? I was like, can I? Thank you so much. No, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that my front teeth don't show when I talk. I never noticed that about myself until he said that. And then ever since he said that, it was in my head that my front teeth don't show when I talk. That's what I gained from that experience. They got no less rowdier and I got a new insecurity. Anyway, that's what I think happened to me in my science class as well. I was always quiet, right, in that class, minding my business. So we had to go in this back room and then, you know, you just sit there or whatever. And so this was the first time where I got to actually be near a friend, because I'm always sat next to random boys. So this time I was actually sat next to my one friend in the class, and we were kind of like, ee-hee-hee. I wouldn't say it was disruptive. It was more just like we were talking to each other because I never got to talk to a fucking girl. We got back to class, and my teacher said, in front of the entire class, my teacher said, wow, I think that's the loudest Sophia has ever been. Or I think that's the loudest Sophia has ever spoken. You know what I said to that? Not a thing. The class probably laughed. I don't really remember. I think I blacked out. I was back in my hostage situation with a rowdy boy next to me that I was supposed to fix. And I had nothing to say. Like, you're right. But that's because that was my first time feeling bliss. That's why I was talking. I tried to think of any other stories or, like, relatable things. And I couldn't think of any more. So, I'm done. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. My Instagram's in the description. The conclusion we can draw from this is that if you are a quiet introvert with an RBF, you are the devil. So just remember that. Keep that in your heart because it's the truth. So, yeah.